Nicol's Commentary, Volume 3, Quaremead, Ugley, October 13th, 1945. Commentary on the Observation of One's Psychology. This is the second of two videos from this group meeting. Now, the development of consciousness in this work is all about, well, is first to see what you are like psychologically, and as a result, to begin to distrust very much your psychological behavior. This may be impossible for the majority of people. I mean, that it would be just as well that they do not see what they are like psychologically. And it would be much better for such people to carry on just as they are with all their acquired psychology, all their buffers, with their attitudes and their opinions and so on. But anyone who has in himself a magnetic center is capable of changing, psychologically speaking. And it is with these people that I wish to deal with in the work. That is, with people who are not identified completely with themselves, because otherwise there is no chance to change. A man or a woman who has never doubted himself or herself, but who is always convinced of being right from his or her acquired psychology, that is, from what they have been taught, is not suitable for this work. Sooner or later, such people will come up against the possibility of realizing that they cannot take themselves for granted, as they have done hitherto, but must alter their whole way of taking things, their whole way of judging things. Now, if they cannot stand this, in short, if they're completely fixed in their own acquired psychology, remember that nothing can be done with such people except to avoid any frontal attack on them. Now, this is a very short paper, but it's about this subject, which is most important. It's very important to understand early in the work, as far as I know at present. A man or woman coming into this work must be able to realize after a time that their psychology may be wrong from the work point of view. They must realize what they have to do in this work is to change their psychology, to which they are fixed, and which they take as the only psychology that they can have. How many of you can say, I may be all wrong? All my viewpoints may have been wrong. I may have quite wrong idea of everything, including myself. All my judgments in the past may have been wrong. Such thoughts change one provided one has something else to hold on to that teaches one what is right. But if you start off this work with the deep conviction that you are all right psychologically as you are, and merely wish to hear out a kind of curiosity as to what the work teaches, you will never get anywhere at all. The subject of this work is you yourself. How can you change if you remain the same? How can you change psychologically if you always remain the same psychologically? How can you change if you accept your present psychology and take it as final, as the last word, as it were, in psychological development? Now, you all know perhaps how difficult it is to show a person that he or she is taking things in the wrong way. Instantly, you give offense. But supposing that this person has some power of self-observation, supposing that he or she can begin to see what is meant by uncritical self-observation and through it see what they're like and have been like hitherto, then the work can come down on that person as a force that leads to inner change, inner development. It is exactly through self-observation that the work can grow and can become not merely a source of mutual recrimination or judgment. This ancient phrase, know thyself, means exactly this. If through uncritical self-observation you have seen the kind of woman, the kind of man that you are, you will be able to stand all the shocks in this work and be able to go with it and receive its force. But if you have never noticed the kind of person you are and how you behave towards others mechanically, that is, every day, if you have never observed your own imaginations of yourself and seen through them, how you can expect your psychology to change, or how you can expect to understand what the work is about. Now, what is it we have to observe in ourselves to change our psychology? This work teaches that we have to observe ourselves psychologically from a certain definite angle. All the practical side of the work that is taught over and over again is about how one has to observe oneself, that is, one's psychology. Do you wish me to enumerate on all the things that the work teaches about practical self-observation? I think it is necessary that we should be reminded of what we have to observe in ourselves. Take one thing only. Are you making internal accounts all the time? Are you feeling that you're unhappy or badly treated or not given what your right position? Are you always self-justifying when, in a sense, you know you are at fault? Are you indulging in long trains of negative emotion? Notice when you take offense and think about false personality. This is especially important for some of you. Try to see false personality in yourself through self-observation. Try to see how it complicates your ordinary life in such a way that when you might, with a little more conscious, have taken a situation calmly, you prefer to make an uproar. Try to observe your opinions, and when you are speaking from your opinions without any real thought, pull yourself up sometimes and say to yourself, what are you thinking about? What are you feeling? Observe it. Observe how much of the time you're fast asleep and reacting mechanically the whole time, not giving that conscious shock to yourself called self-remembering. Observe how you never make any real effort, but always avoid real effort. Observe all your forms of internal considering and try to observe your fantasies about yourself and don't believe them. Observe what you are caught by, what you are always held down by, and what turns you sour. The work is against these things by inner separation. All these and many other things, as the work teaches, have to do with changing your psychology. For example, observe whether you are negative at this moment. Are you going with it? Are you going to identify with this negative emotion at this moment? Or are you going to separate from it and not go with it? This is work on oneself. Do you understand all that you have fixed? Do you understand that you have fixed and habitual attitudes, such as you expect certain things every fixed hour or so? Can you change your attitude to such fixed things in yourself? Can you change the way you read the newspaper and the way that you feel negative instantly? That is mechanically negative towards one person or another. This is a mechanical reaction due to your acquired psychology. So try to notice how you psychologically react to everything that you're confronted with and try to change it in the light of what the work teaches. Above all, notice when you get negative. Notice especially before it has gone too far, and do everything you can to separate from this negative reaction. This is real work on yourself, and it will give you very much if you do it. But as long as you take yourself for granted, nothing can happen to you at all. In this work, we have to learn what we are all that we are all wrong in everything that we do and say and feel and think from the standpoint of the higher man, that is, conscious man.